Hey, what up One Piece fans, this is View with Ice and I've kind of made it my mission to gather every single great showcase of power that One Piece has to deliver. The last video I made in this series didn't do great, but as I said, I'm highly determined to get every showcase of power in One Piece documented, so today we have the top 10 best showcases of power in One Piece Part 11. Please like and subscribe, it would be highly appreciated. But with that finished, let's take a look at some of the best power related moments this anime has to offer. Okay, so I'm gonna begin this video with the most hated Straw Hat Pirate, Captain Usopp. When you look at the crazy power related moments in this series, you might not want to include this one, but since I am on a mission to bleed One Piece dry of all its great showcases, this one will have to do. Personally, I like this because this was the first time you witnessed Usopp doing something by himself. In his normal fashion, he wanted to withdraw from the fight, but he ultimately decided to take on the Fishman. In a normal straightforward fight, Usopp would have lost, but he used his brain and he managed to get his first W as a pirate. The first time Zoro ever used a flying slash attack, it was during his one-man army moment when they were at Whiskey Peak. But it would be in Sky Pier when he advanced his technique even more and it resulted in this. One of Nico Robin's first big moments being part of the Straw Hat gang took place in the Skypiea arc when she fought a priest. Now, as we know, Robin has never been highly impressive when it comes to raw power, but she managed to finesse her way to a victory over someone who was clearly more powerful. I also want to say that I feel that this somehow nerfed Robin's devil fruit ability because in her initial introduction, she felt a little bit more powerful, but hey, this was her first big victory as a Straw Hat pirate, so it was dope. The next one is a heavily overlooked showcase, but in all honesty, it's actually a really cool moment to see how all of the Straw Hats improved on their respective abilities. From Frankie displaying his improved body, Chopper stopping an attack from the Kraken, Robin saving the ship from crashing into a reef, and to Luffy finally defeating the gigantic ocean monster with one punch. After seeing this for the first time, I bet every single One Piece fan was excited for the continuation of their journey. This was truly a great reintroduction for the gang. Next up we have some Chopper action. Chopper had some fights under his belt, but this would be his first solo against a relatively strong opponent. It turned out to be a very close fight, but Tony prevailed and got the win even though he was scared out of his mind. Now that I think about it, Chopper doesn't really have a memorable post-time skip battle. That drastically has to change because he is capable of giving a great fight. I know I am most likely coming across as very selfish, but I just want every single member of the Straw Hat Pirates to sign.
Vista! エースの弟を死なせたって親父の命令だ。援護しろよい。了解、任せとけ。
Flower Blade Vista. He didn't have a lot of appearances during the Paramount War, but I feel he made his presence felt when he saved Luffy from Mihawk's onslaught. I know that if this was a drawn out fight, Mihawk surely would have been the victor, but just being able to hold Mihawk at bay without sustaining any serious injuries counts as a win in my books. I don't know if we ever will see Vista again, but I truly hope that we do, because he came across as a very cool and likable character, and I'm very interested to see what he is truly capable of. Marineford wasn't even that long of an arc, but almost every single video I have made that concerns this topic has a Marineford altercation included. This was kind of a sad moment because at the end of the day, Luffy and Koby doesn't have any animosity towards each other, but I believe Koby feeling the distance between him and Luffy was most likely a big motivation. At this point, Koby was already trained in the techniques that CP9 used. It wasn't perfected yet, but I wouldn't call Koby weak, he just wasn't ready yet for this level, and it resulted in Luffy gaining a one-shot victory. The Goro-Goro-no-Mi is truly one of the most OP powers in One Piece, and the fact that we got introduced to it so early is still crazy. Enel or Enel was basically untouchable for the majority of the Skypiea arc, but there was an instance where it almost looked like the heroes got a W. Viper somehow was able to catch Enel and connect on him with a reject dial. Now, just to showcase how great this power is, he was able to restart his own heart by using his electricity. And after restarting his heart, he basically one-shotted every single character in his vicinity. He is one of my least favorite villains, but you cannot help but be impressed by the power of the Goro-Goro-no-Mi. The Garp Aokiji fight delivered more than just a one-on-one between student and teacher. Garp actually went out there against almost every single top tier Blackbeard pirate he could get his hands on. Sanjon Wolf is one of the biggest, if not the biggest One Piece character, and Garp launched him like he was just some ordinary foot soldier, and the thing that makes this even worse is he did it in one punch. The size factor would be very intimidating to any other character, but Monkey D. Garp just seems to not give anything that resembles a fuck. Earlier in the video, I mentioned how Luffy was able to one-shot Koby, but now I just want to cap this video off by showing the immense growth of the future Admiral. Satisfaction is all I felt when I watched this episode a few months ago, and the reason for this is purely because of how far Koby has come. One crazy thing that I also realized is Koby is literally one of the first characters to ever be introduced to us. We even saw Koby before we saw Luffy in the first episode. So it was really fulfilling to see how that small scared kid turned out to do something of this magnitude and take a step further to his goal of becoming an admiral. But hey man, this is part 11 of the best showcases of power in One Piece. I don't really expect too much of this video, but I hope we get to reach that 1000 subscribers soon.